Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of State of Gaming. Now, we got some sad news. Sad news. I'm going to cover 3 topics. Hopefully, I won't make this too long. As you all heard, EA has been bought out by an investment company from Saudi Arabia. It's a good thing. Here's why I say that. We went from demonizing all Muslims, doing 9/11 and stuff happened, and it was like, oh no, we don't like them. Now they buying out billion-dollar companies over here at a buckload. America. But no, in all seriousness, I don't care if it's what type of, how can I frame this? Most investment companies, when they private equity, when you hear their name, what do you think? The company's going to prosper and grow? No. Imagine if Chick-fil-A becomes on the public stock market. It would be higher than Chipotle, and Chipotle was riding at 2,000. Then private equity is going to slowly dive in with the investments and dictating what they say, and then the quality will go down. It will really go down. I mean, you thought, adding antibiotics back to the chicken was a big deal. Quality is going to go down. Let's jump back to game. The investment company from Saudi Arabia bought the EA entirely, as well as to pull it off the stock market and make it private for $55 billion with a capital B. With a capital B, $55 billion. That's crazy. Now, EA released Madden. They published some games here and there. They had Skate 4 is recent, as well as Battlefield, the new Battlefield. It's concerning because 50% is a toss-up. Tencent owns, they have their hands in the mobile market. They're ruling that with an iron fist, and they have their hands in almost every media/game. And it's a Chinese company. Baldur's Gate 3, my favorite game. I still need to do another playthrough. I played it all. I love that game. They own like 20, 30-ish or 40% of that company. Let them have freedom and just to make art. Just make a good game. Just here. They didn't try to dictate nothing. Now, EA, the prior EA before getting bought out, they were dictating. Let's rush this out. Or they want to dictate and, I want my money now. And this is why I don't like suits in gaming. Everybody who's a part of this deal, I want them plastered up. So if they go to another company trying to do the same thing, I don't want to support that company unless you get rid of their investor. Will they do it? Probably not. But if this investment company or equity company, hey, they treat it like Take-Two. Take-Two, Rockstar, from what the CEO said, they can make whatever they want. I don't really dictate them. In terms of GTA, if they say, okay, here's some money, just make to your heart's content, we're going to make our money back within time, then okay, yeah, I believe it, good. That's a good thing for EA. It's private, but it's a good thing for EA, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. Because $55 billion and EA mainly makes, I don't know, $2 billion, maybe $1 billion, $3 billion in profit a year. Unless they're going to go heavy in the mobile market. Unless they're going to heavily put microtransactions in Skate 4. And they're already going to do that, but they're going to do it. Are they going to rush out games even more? What is the state of the current contracts that EA has with the NFL? Is this the breaking point to where we can actually get Blitz the league? I don't know. But it's a toss-up. I think it's bad, at least for gaming. I think it's bad. But we will see. We will revisit this and the next year or so, maybe even less, if this deal goes through, and we'll see how they treat the games. Hopefully they don't be like a Konami with slot machines. We don't need that. Also, Microsoft. Everybody is unsubscribing to the Microsoft. Now I have a Microsoft. I have an Xbox, and they're letting me down. They letting a lot of people down. My previous video, I stated the fact that why are they canceling games? Love them or hate them, PlayStation's not doing that to that degree. They did that to their live service game. They pulled it and refunded everybody because it was a disaster. But what are you doing? It is insane that you promote Perfect Dark Zero or the Perfect Dark, the remake. I'm excited. I'm ready for that game. Cancel. They did that. I don't know where State of Decay 4 is. I don't know where any of those first party games that they're promising is coming out. And then they have the nerve to raise the price of Game Pass. Now, mind you, they bought EA. They bought Activision. It wasn't, I think it was for $1 billion, 5, maybe 10 billion. I believe it was $1 billion. I'm pretty sure it was $1 billion. And it's like they made their money back tenfold already off of that buy and acquisition. And this is the same thing where the investors in Saudi Arabia is doing. Microsoft is a private equity company. I mean, look at it. They buy these games and they releasing them subpar or not even trying. They need to put a edict on the email. Quality. Let's treat our games like Rockstar treats their games, with quality. Let's treat our games like the indie developers treat their games when they're trying to get a foot in the door. Quality, love, and care. They do not do that. So, the Game Pass rate raised up. I will be canceling mine in November because that's when it's going up. So, in November, I will no longer be a Game Pass holder because the only game I played on it was Expedition 33. I might play a little few indie games here and there, but the major games I haven't even touched Doom yet, and that's crazy. I'm backlogged like hell. Gay. I haven't touched their Evolve. It was one of their RPG games when you couldn't have romances. And as soon as I heard it was no romance in there, I couldn't fuck no bad bitches, I said peace. But in all seriousness, they raising the price of their games, raising the price of their consoles without delivering the said games, even though it's no point in even having an Xbox because all the games are going to different platforms. Speaking of platforms, I bought a PlayStation 5 2 years ago or so, maybe more. Just because whenever the first Wolverine teaser dropped, that's when I bought it. Because I'm like, okay, I want to play Wolverine. And PlayStation's not going to bring that on to other platforms, at least not right off. And me owning the PlayStation, I realized how much better that console is. Xbox is charging these premium prices to use their online service, and you get a PC. You don't have to do that. You use these online services, and the online service is wild. With the PlayStation, you can live stream to your YouTube channel, to Twitch. You can have your friends in the party, have a watch party for said game. If your friend is on the fence of playing the game, you can give him control to where he can actually play your game. That is insane. You can record video clips up to 30 minutes with sound, as well as the people that's in the game. You can record their voices. That's insane. Xbox is still at 2 minutes is the max. You can't do any of that on Xbox. I mean, in terms of the development and gamer focus and just overall feel, the PlayStation is knocking Xbox out the water here. I'm surprised it's been like 5 years and they haven't had an update to their interface at all to try to compete with PlayStation 5. And they wanted to charge $30 a month for games? For rented games? Now, PlayStation does the same thing. They're a little less, but let's say when you go to buy a game online, there's a fine print that will say you are licensing the game. You do not own this game. I'm gonna try to find a photo, but I took a photo of it. It was of the new Silent Hill game. Yeah, it was disturbing, you know. But hell, I'm still an old dog, a old fart. You know, I'm old because everybody's going digital and I'm not. With said games, when you buy these games online through the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, it will state that you do not own these games. You are licensing the games. Now, I still buy physical copies. Even with physical copies, you still gotta it's not a plug and play anymore. You gotta download the update or whatever, which is muddy. But with a PC, you own that motherfucker. You can transfer that file, whatever, it's your game. So, Microsoft, I don't even know if they're even going to come out with another console for what they're doing. I don't know. The shareholders are really they're making money hand over fist, but they can be even better to win people over. There's a reason why Xbox doesn't have a foothold in Japan. And it's not just because of brand loyalty, it's just they don't try, And an average person will own at least 2 consoles. Well, the gamer. The fact that people are so brain dead. Yes, I said it. The fact that they're selling people code. And people are buying these games brand new online. I will be one of them when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Not saying I'm above it. I will be one of them because I'm going to buy it in hard copy. And I'm going to be one of them to buy it online so I can be one of the people, the people to play it, live stream it. Yes, I'm going to be one of them. But if you are buying games new, digital, for $70 to $80, that's crazy. Because when they first came out with more digital purchase, to where you can purchase the game online, it's going to be cheaper. Because we don't have to manufacture, we don't have to use shrink wrap, we don't have to ship it, we don't have to have the disc and the case and booklets and all of that. The JRPG market in Grand Theft Auto or just Rockstar Games are the only ones who still put booklets in their game, in their cases. So, if you're buying it physical, I think it should be, okay, $70, brand spanking new. But online, shouldn't that be $50? You cut half the cost off. Don't get complacent. I want to bring that up because don't get complacent on things like this. If everyone, because I'm canceling mine, if everyone cancel their Game Pass and go to the lowest tier, they're going to raise that up. There's no point in owning the Xbox anymore. Sad to say, because of what they're doing. No update to the UI at all is standard. PlayStation, they don't really need an update. Everything is already there. And when I'm playing more of the PlayStation, I'm like, oh my gosh. I wish there was like a plug-in to where I can actually have my Xbox controller playing on the PlayStation because I like the feel of it. Pause. But that is the state of gaming right now. EA is going to go down because anytime a private equity attains something, it's going to be microtransactions in the business decisions. They're going private. So I don't know. Hopefully they're like a Tencent, Microsoft. The greed is going up even more. They're canceling games left and right. Then talk about you get to play first party games day one. Like, what first party games day one? You canceling all your first party games day one. And the state of prices. And a lot of people are getting outpriced by the market. The tariffs are not helping. And even if the tariffs are not, everything's built cheaply now. The controllers, they're charging $70 for the controller. You drop it one time, you're done. No innovation. And then want to charge more for prices, which is crazy. But that's just my outlook on it and what I think is going to happen.